Okay, we have some problems recently we've been having some problems with this new Loox5 lighting system. The issues that I have personally gone out to resolve from a service perspective have to do with getting everything hooked up right. This new system is a 3-wire system. It's a multi-white system. It doesn't just have plus and negative. It has a plus, a cool white, and a warm white circuit. And if any of this stuff isn't plugged in right, it won't work correctly. And it's not only the way that you plug in the lights, which we definitely have to watch, just like we always have with plus and minus. Now we have to watch plus, C, and W, which is printed here, which I'm going to show you in a second. But you also have to be careful how you actually plug up the components in the back. So you have a driver, and then you have a Bluetooth mesh, and then you have a 6-way distributor. And the way that all of that stuff is hooked up is also extremely important. And if any of it isn't done correctly, then what we wind up with is if we have multiple circuits in a room, you'll have one circuit that shows warm white and one circuit that's cool white. And sometimes even when you go to change the color of the lights here, as one will change from cool to warm, another circuit will just go dead, right? Again, another indication that it's not plugged up correctly. Something's not hooked up right. So we're gonna review everything real, as quick as I can here. Everybody just needs to watch this and just know it. And if something's not working right out in the field, call John Mason, call me, let's get it right. Go backs are expensive, you guys know that. And we gotta get this stuff hooked up right. Okay, so I'm gonna start going over this just kind of step by step. So first of all, this is the new Loox5 24-volt multi-white lights. The polarity is not just as simple as plus and minus. There are 3 wires now, as you can actually see right here on the connectors, which I'm sure you guys have noticed, right? But if you look here, right here where the wires are, you'll see there's a plus, a C, and a W. And really all you have to watch is the plus, guys. The plus is the red, okay? And then if you work your way down, why didn't they put it on every single one? I don't know. I wish they had. But if you work all the way down here, right here, again, there's a plus, a C, and a W. Another thing to keep in mind is you'll see here where you cut it, there are 2 lines. We no longer cut in the middle of this connector. You need to cut, if you're plugging in on this side, then you want to cut on that side. If you're plugging in on this side, you want to cut on that side. That's going to give you enough meat here to get a good connection. Meat here to get a good connection in the connector. Okay, so let's look here. Just 1 second.
No problem.
All right, so let's look here and look in the back and see how this is hooked up. All right, Phil, if you'll get this area here, this is where we're gonna work. This sample section, which I know most of you guys have seen, actually has 3 circuits. We're just gonna focus on one. I only have one plugged in. We're just gonna focus on this one, okay? So in the new system, you have 3 components. You've got the driver, right? The 6-way mesh box, which if you look at it, it actually says connect mesh, okay? And then you have the 6-way multi-white distributor. This box, if you plug straight into this, is a 2-wire connection. This is a 2-wire connector, and there's 2 of them coming out of this box. The magic of this box is that it takes these 2 2-wire connections and it turns it into a 3-wire, which is actually what makes it multi-white, okay? So, here, zoom back just a shade. So, this 6-way multi-white connector has to plug in order, in the correct sequence, which is WW and CW, and it's just normal left to right reading, so that's easy to remember. So WW, CW needs to be paired to go into 1 and 2, or 3 and 4, or 5 and 6. If these are backwards, then your colors will be backwards. If you've got it plugged into 4 and 5, right, instead of 3 and 4 in this case, again, colors are not going to work right. All of this has to be hooked up correctly in order for it to function correctly. Then on the back side here, kind of, you can plug up to 6 up to 6 lights into the back end of that. Okay, so if all of that is hooked up correctly, then at least your wiring is correct. Now, all we have to do is sync the switch. So this is the new switch. HEFLA is at top. So that's how the switch is oriented, okay? This button will control anything that's plugged into 1 and 2. That's button number 1, plugs into 1 and 2, controls circuit number 1, 2. This button would control 3 and 4. This button, number 3, would be controlled by whatever's in 5 and 6, okay? Or, this is what we do, we just use the bottom right button, which is button number 4. That controls all the circuits. This system will allow you to hook up relatively complex, it supports really complex scenarios and use cases. We generally don't go there. The way we need to train customers is just use the bottom right button. That's what we want to do. Okay, so this switch is currently synced to a different switch, not this one. This one's brand new out of the box. And we need to change that. So I'm gonna reset this and we're gonna go through the process of syncing this switch. So I'm gonna press this reset button. I'm just gonna hold it down for a minute. See, I'm blinking now. All right, we're reset. It's unlearned. All right, how do we do this? We start with unplugged components. We start with a switch that does not have a battery in it. This is your happy place. So we're ready to sync this up now. Again, my switch does not have a battery in it. This is not plugged in. I'm gonna go ahead and plug this in. Oh, I'm sorry. That's wrong. First thing I'm gonna do is put the battery in the switch. I have to put the switch into learning mode. So take a brand new battery, put it into this brand new switch. And I'm going to press the left 2 buttons on the switch. Again, HEFLA's on top, so buttons number 1 and 3, until I get a slow red blink. I'm in learning mode now. Now when I let off the buttons, you can see the light is still on a slow red blink. This indicates learning mode. Now I'm not going to touch this switch. Now as we power on the components, they're going to automatically learn to the switch that is in learning mode. So this thing is broadcasting. So I'm just going to set this down. No touchy. All right. I'm going to plug in the driver. Right here, Phil, watch this. You're gonna watch this thing go through some machinations. It's gonna go through some blink sequences, which it's doing right now, and eventually it's gonna go solid. Once it goes solid, that means it's learned. If then I wanted to go learn these other ones, if they were fresh, right, again, just sitting there on kind of that slow red blink, which is the default setting out of the box, then I plug in the next section, and then I wait until it goes through its blink sequence, until it goes solid, and then again and again and again until I get everything synced up and everything's red. Note that this thing is still sitting here blinking, right, because it's in learning mode. So to take it out of learning mode, I just press any button. Watch, I'm gonna press a button, light stops blinking, world is good. All right, so let's see. So I'm pushing the bottom right switch, short press, okay? It's turning it on and off, short press. If I want to dim the lights, it's a single press and hold. Ready? All right, so I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to single press and hold, and it's dimming. Goes all the way out. I'm letting off. I'm going to single press and hold. Now it's going to get bright again to a ridiculous amount, right? Okay, single press and hold. I'm going to come back down again. Again, it's multi-white, if you remember. So the other function that we have here is color change. To make it a color change, it's a double press and hold. So it's a really, really, really fast double click. I used to do computers for a living. I have a really fast double click finger, and I'm telling you, I have a hard time pressing this thing fast enough and getting it to do it. So you're gonna have to fight with this a little bit, but here it comes. All right. Phil, if you can kind of focus here, you can see the two diodes here. One is a warm and one is a cool. So what we're wanting is I'm gonna double press and hold this thing fast enough to where you're gonna see it kind of fail between the cool and the warm. Okay, so here we go. That was a double click and hold. Nope, no, that was dim. So I have an easier time with it, like way down here in the corner. Hey, there we go. All right, so it just went fully warm. And I'm just holding it, I'm not letting go. All right, so it went fully warm. Now I'm gonna do it again. And here it comes. You see? Now it's going to cool. And it kind of fades, gets in the middle, you know, what would be kind of a mid-white. And now it's fully cool white. And I'm letting off again. Now, I'm gonna double, oop, that was dim, dang it. All right, now I'm gonna do it again. And you can see it working here. Gentlemen, that's it. I like it somewhere in the middle. That's like a nice, even sort of temperature light, but that's it. So if I do the double press and hold and I have one of the lights that is doing a warm to cool thing and the other one's doing a cool to warm thing, then I know that either this connection is backwards or possibly this connection is backwards, or maybe I've got them jumped, right? I've got them in 4 and 5, not 5 and 6. Something about it is not hooked up right. So, so look, that's the crash course. The syncing section is also in your installer manual, which you have as a Google Doc on your phone, which hopefully, I mean, as long as you have signal. I know I've shared it with all you guys. If I haven't, please send me a request. Just text me and say, hey, can you share the installation manual with me? I have step-by-step instructions for the syncing operation in there, and then this video is going to be linked in there as well. All right, and if you have questions, if you have problems, if you're out on a job and you're trying to hook the thing up and it's not working right, please guys, call somebody. Call John, call Phil, call me. You know, let's figure it out. It's a little more complex than the old system, but it's doable. As you can see, you know, if you know what you're doing here, you can get it all working right. All right, cool. Thank you.